Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mansion. For those that are new, I'm MaryAnne. Thank you for tuning in if you are new. Thank you for returning viewers. You know how much I love you. You help me with this channel. I appreciate your support every single day. I will never stop letting you know that. It's just a divinely beautiful and fully emotionally loving thing you can do. So I appreciate it, and welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection for the last day of January. Today is January 31st, 2021. 2021. Sounds funny to say that, yeah. But last day, really, because, well, it's been a full month, and I'm telling you what, I felt so good waking up today. And I know we're in the Mercury retrograde, and yeah, I've already had the influences in my speeches and all that great. But I'm telling you, good things are coming in February, you know, amongst the delays or the, you know, mix-ups and all the things that Mercury retrogrades can, you know, be blamed on. But we're going to be seeing a lot of really beautiful transformational things that are going to be helpful for all of us. That's just a beautiful, wonderful insight that I got just before coming in today to read for you. So let's get to the program. For those that are new, I do have a format, and what I do is I pick 2 sun signs every day, and we're on the bonus section because I'll read the beginning of the month readings. I go around the zodiac wheel, starting at Aries, ending at Pisces twice, beginning of the month, mid-month readings, and now at the end of the month there's extra days. I do bonus readings. So I don't know what the featured or what we call the highlighted connection is for the featured sign. Excuse me, I have a hair in my eye. But when I do pick that, in just one moment, I will then be reading specifically 3 major categories for that highlighted connection, and then ending the reading with the beautiful oracle divinations I have that are just filled with love and encouragement and divine intervention, with messages that are necessary for every single one of the featured sign and every one of their connections in the zodiac. Because, you know, not everybody is necessarily tuning in for the highlighted one. It'll be in the description, but I'll figure out that right now for you what that is. So we have the sign of Gemini. Let me double check because I don't want to do a bunch of repeats for the bonus, okay? We did Sagittarius and Gemini at the beginning as part of the first one, so it's going to be hard not to. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we're going to do, Gemini was the highlighted. So now I'm going to do Gemini as the featured, and then the highlighted for Gemini will be, that was off the table, Aquarius. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is so beautiful. It's absolutely perfect. It is 2 air signs, and we are in the season of Aquarius. Happy birthday, Aquarians, through February, I believe, 19th? 18th? I love this combination. I see it all the time. There's so much compatibility with these 2 air signs. They really, really get each other. They're both air elements. They're both strictly and very, very much about the mind. Not strictly. Very, very much illuminating the mind, intelligence, thought, creativity, expression, conversation, you know, opening up ideas, inventive, pioneering, kind of just this wonderful freedom-seeking spirit of Aquarius, the rebel I call them, all the while very much a humanitarian sign. You see them as the water barrier, you know, a lot of the cards show pictures of the person holding, you know, water jugs or something, but really, and for a long time I thought it as the water barrier, but in what that really means, metaphorically, is the ability to give a wealth of nutrients and nourishment in regards to our minds and education and thought. And looking forward, you know, changing the regular, the norm is really a big part of that. Aquarius is a fixed sign. They're extremely determined and very set in their ways about a lot of things, even if it's the smallest thing, you know. But they care greatly for their friendships, their social circles, groups, you know, the world, humanity, basically. And they're going to do whatever they can to improve that, certainly in their lifetime. They are ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the planet of complete unpredictability, surprises, definitely focus on science. I always say the same things, but this is very, very highly in tune to science, medicine, so perfect for this time, right? You know, like I said, just unexpected things happening that'll shock your world and maybe in amazing ways, and sometimes not necessarily something you would welcome, but in the end ends up actually helping your life considerably, because maybe you yourself would not have done that. But that's what, you know, Aquarians have been about since day one. They're all about change. They're cool with that. They're independent. They're freedom-seeking. Great people. I've had a lot of wonderful Aquarians, and I like their individualism, and they're kind of eccentric in their own way. I don't know. I find them very, very helpful for this planet. And so, and then you have the combination with Gemini. Well, there's, like I said, both air signs. Gemini is also very analytical. They are a mutable sign, and they are so interested in pretty much everything you can imagine. They know a little bit about everything. They continue to study. They're the archetype of the teacher. They are very interested in learning themselves. Their incredible claim to fame is their ability to speak and to hold the attention of those they speak to through words, through social media, certainly, through their written word. Great novelists, great, you know, storytellers, very, very active in the mind and body. I find them very full of energy a lot of times, sometimes too much. They're like, they don't know what to do with it. They're always on this tangent to be doing something and, you know, moving around, and they have a duality aspect to them. And I know a lot of you who know Geminis can relate to that. And I had a sister that I lost last year, actually in 2019, the latter part of it. So, excuse me, see how my throat closes up when I talk about it? Way too soon, but Gemini, very, very, very witty. Life of the party, had a joke after everything you said, literally, but very intelligent and, you know, quick-minded and able to pick up on things and to learn things and adapt very quickly to a lot. So that was a wonderful characteristic of my sister. And then I have a brother who's extremely talented and everything I just said, but different in the sense he's more laid back. So there's the duality I was talking about. Even when in the same person, they can be very, very motivated and highly, you know, out there and sociable, and then other times very studious and kind of to themselves and quiet and such. So you can get both, but the two of these together, this powerhouse, this great, honest to God, deep friendship that can be established with Aquarians and Geminis, and then of course romance. And I mean, you know, that's what my readings are about. They're about all different forms of love. And I really like to incite and really make it clear that I'm talking about self-love, because that's something that was way off my chart, you know, my radar for a long time. I mean, I thought I liked myself, but then you come to find out as time goes on that maybe not so much. And now it feels great to take care of myself and to care about that. And I mainly say this to you because I love all of you, and I want that for all of you, and I want all of your relationships to flourish and to just thrive. And understand that you're not going to be exactly on the same page all the time, which is great. And, you know, you're going to have your ups and downs, which is how we learn. I mean, we never know ourselves more than when we're in a relationship. But these two really are, by far, from my years of study, since literally I was 12, about astrology and compatibility, they make it work. And I see this all the time. Let's read your special, beautiful messages for this highlighted connection on the last day of January 2021. Whew. Aquarius and Gemini. Let's see what Spirit wants to share. So the first category is always the overall energy for the two of you in this relationship, whatever it may be, and how it's affected you thus far. And you may not feel the energy right away. You may not resonate right away. You may not resonate at all. But stay tuned, because maybe the oracle messages are very, very pertinent, and something in there may really hit a chord with you, and that's what I like to hear and have happen. So feel free, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so, and take that moment for me, because it's about communicating, and you can leave a comment and I will always respond. And let me know what you think, and let me know how your relationship is. If you do resonate with your reading, that's really important, and I appreciate knowing that. So let's see what it says. The first category, overall energy. Well, this came up yesterday. I've been shuffling these beforehand. I shuffled them during it. It's the Wheel of Fortune. One of the best cards in the deck, a second time. The reading was for, oh my gosh, it was for Pisces and Libra. Well, there's an air in Libra too. That's the third triad. There's 3 of each element, right? Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Good stuff. I don't know, I'm going to shorten it and make it sweet. The Wheel of Fortune is based on karmic things. A lot of times it is a time factor. It is the seasons and the changes and the phases of the moon and the life and, life and death, and just what we actually experience every day since the day we pass on, right? And it's about good stuff, because anytime you see the Wheel of Fortune in the upright positions, but predominantly, it means that whatever wasn't working and was kind of stalled, which I'm going to be honest with you, there'll still be some stalling, so you have to believe me when I tell you, it's not going to be that way for much longer. And when it does release after retrograde, February 20th, you're going to be amazed. I mean, it's the flow. It's like this flow that's not going to stop. Take it in while you can, boy. Be careful though, because I always say that it's amazing, and I'm like you. I just like, oh my God, I can't. More, I want more. Be careful. Make sure that you are still keeping that balance within yourself, because as a Libra, I know that's essential. And if you're not feeling up to par, or you're not doing your best, you need to make sure that you yourself are being taken care of, and you know what that means to you. So I don't want to stand on a soapbox here. I'm just saying, fantastic. Regarding your material life, regarding your love, regarding your job, your creative side, your ambitions, your dreams, the star, which is what the Aquarian represents in the tarot, the star card, focusing and believing mostly, but then feeling that dream will happen, believing in your dreams and never letting them go. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune will bring to you. Particularly in a birthday season, Aquarius, it's a special magical time for you. So utilize that and feel good about that. The universe is working in your favor. And then the Gemini thing too, I mean, this is beautiful reading already. Let's go on to the second category, which is the possible blessings that have happened thus far as the catalyst to this reading. And I say a lot, but I mean a lot of times our obstacles become a blessing. We just don't see it right away. Wow. Now listen, I honestly did the shuffling. I'm going to do even more. It's the same card too, but it's in a different position. It's the Magician. It's just Wheel of Fortune and Magician. I don't know much more to say. The Magician is the card that represents both major arcanas, by the way, which is more emphasis on spirit needing to get this to you in the message, to share and to have you, understand so you can utilize it the best you can. The Magician is mastering. I mean, it's like we have all the tools we can possibly need within us, around us, whatever it is, and you are really, really taking hold of this realization, this feeling of, confidence and expertise, and it's self-mastery, it's mastery with whatever it is you do, write, think, or speak. Certainly a relationship could be going extremely well. It feels like there's a lot of fulfillment happening. And I love this. I absolutely love it. I would consider it a blessing, unless it's just too good. Let me know about that too, because I've never really had too good. I love good, and the more the merrier. That's beautiful. And right in the center is the cup, and that's the heart, and that's the fulfillment and the emotional stability and feeling like, yeah, this is what I was waiting for. After a year that wasn't so much like that. Just allow it in, boy, allowing it in. And the last and final category is the category of finances, forgive me. And it is definitely about our money. I mean, that's essential in this life. And, you know, we need that stability. So it's money, but it's just the things that we can feel, touch in the material world, right? You can bring it in spiritually, we have to be able to, the currency, which is what money is, of energy, coming in, flowing, and continuing that without any breaks or any kind of blockages is basically what you're wanting under the finance realization. I have a great oracle deck from Abraham Hicks, which is Money and the Law of Attraction. I pull out every so often, and I'll do it again. Stay tuned, come on back, and you'll see. But for now, this is the beautiful deck of the Gilded Tarot, and I'm going to be bringing out a new deck starting tomorrow for, you know, the featured sign of Aries, as I like to change things up. And I have some that I have to get acquainted with because they're new. Okay, so in your finances and your, you know, your life, your material things I mentioned, the fundamental things that are essential for your life, you have the 8 of Cups. So this is interesting because it makes perfect sense. Now you have this beautiful energy and manifestational, you know, messages and that are very prominent for you. The 2 of you is a highlighted connection, and then you have the 8 of Cups. So what it's showing me and saying is that you've had some real letdowns. You have lost things, you have lost people, possessions, things that were very, very near and dear to you. And it hurt. And I would imagine you're still grieving, a lot of you. I know for myself, a lot of people that are. We all grieve in our own time, in our own way, and I send you incredible healing, restorative energy with that. As a Reiki Master Practitioner, I send distant healing daily because I feel like it can't do any harm. And the more of us that do that in a collective consciousness, it will definitely help repair. I see it as repaired, which is a beautiful way to look at our lives, you know, in times of challenges. But I will say that you are turning your back to that, boy. You are ready to just continue to move on, not letting go. Of course, the memory will be there, the sentimentality remains, but you're ready to just pick it up, boy. Pick it up, level it up, fill the cups, you know, and know that you have the mastery, as in the Magician, and the Wheel of Fortune working with you. And I love that. I love seeing the cups behind, you know. And like everything in life, we need to start over again. We need to regenerate. We need to, well, during the retrograde in particular, it's all about the re's. Just double check it and making sure we're feeling a certain way in the way that we need to. And trusting, for heaven's sakes, trusting that things are coming along financially and otherwise. And that's all part of the 2 cards prior to the finances. So yeah. There were rocky waters, and oh my gosh, you got that full moon. When we had the full moon in Leo, that was heavy duty. I felt that immensely, and that's really about socializing and your vitality and your courage and your strength to continue on too. So the new moon is on February 12th, and then I believe it's in Aquarius, which is beautiful, Aquarius. Forward thinking again. And you always want to do a really, light a candle. I light the candle for you. Write down intentions and just multiply the energies for you. You know, it's smooth sailing. It's looking ahead. And that's beautiful. And you know, they say that air signs are very detached, and really we are in some ways, in the sense that we remove purposely when we're involved or we're thinking and we're in, you know, in the middle of a very important idea or, you know, way of communicating, or a letter, whatever it is, we purposely try to detach from our emotions so they don't cloud our thinking. But we are definitely emotional. My sister's an Aquarius, and I've not met anybody quite as emotional as she is. I mean, cries at pretty much anything. But very capable, you know, so I love that. I love that, you know, yes, there's parts of life that are not all sunshine and lollipops, but very important to face them and to work through them. and to allow them to recognize that, right? So you can move forward. So I love that reading. I think it's phenomenal, and it has so much potential. And I always say I don't ever believe any of the readings that I do, or any of the energies in general, you know, actually control us. We have free will. How do you want this energy when you start feeling it? What do you want to, how do you want to take it in? Maybe not at all, you know, it's up to you always, but it's there for you. It's truly there for you. So that's fantastic. And I'm happy to share that with you. So let's read the oracle messages, which are, like I said, and I hope you understood, but I'll repeat it. This is for all of the Aquarians and every single one of their connections, regardless of what zodiac sign you are, so that everybody gets a piece of the pie, right? And these messages are beautiful. And I love this deck. This is the Motivation Manifesto card deck. And it is by Brendan Burchard, who I only just heard of last year. But I'll tell you, the phrase, like I said, or whatever it is that your card will say, is directly for bringing the positive upliftment aspect of your life. And I'm all for that. That's what my channel caters to. And your message, should you choose to hear it, to stand emotionally open before the world and give of our hearts without fear of hurt or demand or reciprocity. This is the ultimate act of human courage. Wow. I mentioned courage before, especially from our losses, that we need to continue on, you know, and know that, and that we will when we can. But I'll read it again. To stand emotionally open before the world and give of our hearts without fear of hurt or demand of reciprocity, which, you know, I'm doing this, can I have it back? I do that with my kitten. I'm always giving you love, can I get a little bit? Not the same. This is the ultimate act of human courage. And you've got this. This is for you. This is not a coincidence that would come up for you. And interestingly enough too, you know, the moon was in Leo, the full moon, and that is about courage. I just said that. And that is your polar opposite, Aquarian. So there's always that energy kind of pulling at you, and you're feeling that magnetism when you have the polar opposite sign like that, which is what, you know, Aquarius is to Leo. And there I see that combination all the time too, for that very reason. So I love that, and I hope you love that too, and that hits you in a beautiful spot. And the next category is, I should say the next oracle deck is Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. She has a beautiful channel, and she's been doing this forever. One of my mentors, I appreciate her and her gifts, and I learned from her. So I got this last year. I asked for it for a birthday gift. There's so many decks, where to start, right? But I'm glad that I incorporated Colette into my repertoire because it's beautiful. So let me pull for you once again, Aquarians, with the help of Spirit, the importance of the messages coming through for you today and all of your connections. Mending. Okay. Well, right off the bat, I think of mending. So if the cups were down with emotion, with your finances, they'll be mended. If it was from a loss of a person or, you know, a particular object or something that meant a lot, that will mend too when it needs to. And so that's 52. Well, 7 is a very, you know, lucky number for a lot of people. It also represents the numerology working through difficulties. You know, many times self-inflicted, many thoughts like airheads. I didn't mean that. Air signs are basically always in their mind, so there's a lot they're thinking of, sometimes way too much. It's like a loop, and they try to stop it, and it's a very good exercise to kind of purposely ask to go down to your heart chakra. Spend time in quiet, nature, home, at least 4 or 5 minutes a day, maybe even a minute, and collect yourself. And that's what 7 is. So let's see. Look at this beautiful card, though. You've got another friend there, and, you know, friendships are huge to Aquarians. And I really feel like a very important romantic relationship should always be based on friendship, you know? I felt like that's a really key component to it. But anyway, 52, let me read to you the message specifically. It's way at the back. Okay. Is it the last one? I don't know this deck enough, but I'm feeling quite strongly that it is. Yes, it is. 52 cards. Essential meaning: forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. Well, that's what love's about. And we're going to have them, trust me. And especially in the retrograde. I mean, there's always communication mix-ups, and I didn't say that, you took it the wrong way, and, you know, expression in general in the next, like, 20 plus years is going to be air, you know, getting out the truth. Sometimes it's hard to hear. That's how we make improvements. That's how we can move forward, you know. So I love that for you. I think it's very, very apropos. The relationship message is you've come to take place where you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you or the other person are still experiencing the effect of a hurt that is impacting everything you do. So this is a certain percentage of you out there. Even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What you do to bridge this gap. What must you do to bridge this gap? You have the power to heal this wound. Closing your heart is not the answer. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come from forgiveness and an honest redress. That's really wonderful. And I know that a lot of you know that, but sometimes when you hear it, it just really, it kind of is that confirmation we need to hear sometimes, right? So yeah, I'm going to finish this reading with one of my favorites, of course, for those that have been watching, the Super Attractor Manifestation deck, because, I mean, that says everything. We manifest every moment, and I like to be in control of what it is I want, but I want to feel it, and that's what brings it in. And it has to be congruent. I always say it has to be the same feeling as it is in your mind and what you're thinking. You know, I can't even do that. How do you do that? You know what I mean? Like attracts like. So let me pick for you what Spirit truly, truly wants you to hear for today. And I call them affirmations or mantras that you can say over and over and over to clear and to you know, to reset, I guess, your energy in a way that'll help you to attract exactly what you want. So your card for today is a beautiful one, and it shows the rays of the sun, the strength that we all have, and the blue, that's a beautiful color, regarding our third eye, our chakra that recognizes and has great intuitive capabilities and is in tune and connection with co-creation. The universe has big plans for me, and it's time to claim it, or them. And you're right, and why not? It's your birthday. You deserve it. And the universe is telling you so go with it. And I love this. I love the reading, and I love how it has some parts that are just kind of reminding you. Being fixed at times is not a bad thing, you know. It's very appropriate and necessary to keep on track and to be determined towards what our goals are and such. But it's also so good to just, like, if things aren't really quite right and you haven't quite mended something, make it happen. Life is really, really short, and you're going to feel so much better. So it's all about love, right? It's all about love. And I just want to thank you again for being here. Take extremely good care of yourself. Come on back if you're an Aries featured tomorrow, and or even if you're not. Maybe you're cross-watching. You know, all are welcome. But until next time, thank you again, and bye for now.